Let's solve this question on income tax. The table below shows the income tax rates in a particular year. So the table is there with monthly tax rates in Kenya shillings and tax rates in percentage. In month of July that year, Mr. Kimani received a house allowance of 40,000 shillings and a commuter allowance of 16,000 shillings. If Kimani paid a net tax of 53,403 and 80 cents and he was entitled a tax relief of 2,400, calculate A, his monthly basic salary, that is part A, and then part B, the following month that year, Kimani's basic salary was raised by 10%. His other deductions per month were as follows: cooperative society contributions 4,500, loan repayment 36,000. Calculate Kimani's net salary per month for marks. So those are the two questions. Let's go to the first part. Now in the first part, you're supposed to calculate his monthly basic salary. Then look at what you're given. You're given some allowances. House allowance is given 40,000 and commuter allowance. And then there's something very important here that you're going to use, the net tax. So what is going to help us to get the basic salary is the use of the net tax. We're going to use the net tax. Then from the net tax, we will get the taxable income. Then from the taxable income, we will be able to get the basic salary. So this is a case of reverse taxation or backward taxation, whereby you begin from the net tax and you go backwards until you get the taxable income. Now this is how we're going to do it. Since this one is a net tax, we get net tax after we less relief. So this is what I mean. So net tax is obtained by taking the gross tax less relief. So in this case, because we're moving backwards, we need to get the gross tax first. So therefore, gross tax will be given by the net tax plus the relief. So that is the first thing that you're going to do. So let us begin with that. So the gross tax will be given by, we have the net tax, which is 53,403 and 80 cents, plus the relief that is given here is 2,400. So whatever we are going to get here is the gross tax. The gross tax. So when you add these 53,403 and 80 cents plus 2,400, you get 55. You'll get 55. So you will get 55. So get 55, 803 and 80 cents. So this is the gross tax. Now we're moving backwards. How do we get the gross tax? We get the gross tax after taxation using the bands that are given here. So let's see how this gross tax was arrived at. And it was arrived at after taxation using the given bands there. So we go to the first band. The first band is under 11,181. So 11,181. So the first band. So 11,181. And the rate of taxation in the first band is 10%. That is 10%. So that is 10 over 100. So we get the tax at that band. So we're going to tax until we arrive. This is the figure that we are targeting to get. We need to see the amount of money of the taxable income that was subjected to tax in order to give this gross tax. So we're looking for the taxable income. So this is the taxable income. So this is the taxable income, 11,181. This is the tax rate, and whatever we're going to get here is the tax. So the first band, there is a tax of this will give 11 This will give 11, sorry, use a different pen. So we get 11, 18 and 10 cents. That is what you're going to get in the first one. Then we go to the second band. The second band begins from 11, get it, from 11,181, but under 21,715. So to get the taxable income in this band, the second band, we'll simply take 21,715, then we less 11,181. We subtract that. So when you subtract that, take 21,715 less 11,181, and that will give 10,534. 10,534. So we have 10,534, and that one, the taxation rate there is 15%. So 15%. So this will give a tax of when you multiply these, a tax of 1580 and 10 cents. So that is the tax. So look at what you're doing. So in the first band we have this tax, we have 11,118 10 cents. In the second band we have these. We want to tax until we get this figure. We are going to stop when we get this figure. So we must proceed. You can see this, we are too far. This is just 11,118, then 1580, and we need to have this figure. We need to have a tax of this figure. This is a gross tax. So we shall go to the next band, and the next band is from 21,715 to 32,249. So again, to get the taxable income in that band, simply take 32,249, subtract 21,715. And that will give, so that will give 10,534, the same thing. It seems the band is uniform. So 10,534 times the tax, the tax rate there is 20%. Tax rate there is 20%, so 20 over 100, and this will give a tax of, so 10,534 multiplied by 20%, that is 0.2. This will give 2106 and 80 cents. 2106 and 80 cents. So it's still very far from getting this figure. 55,803 and 80 cents is very far. So we can proceed. Seems we're going to all the bands. So the next band is from 32,249 to, but under 42,783. So that means we take this one, 42,783, subtract 32,249. We subtract that, still uniform, 10,534. Still get 10,534. So 10,534 multiplied by the tax rate there is 25%. 25%. So multiply this 10,534 times 20 divided by 100, and this will give 26. This is 26, 33 and 50 cents. And 50 cents. So you can see now we have gone through all the bands. We are remaining with the last band. So we are now in the last band. So we need to get the tax that we have obtained so far, and then you see what is remaining from 55. So we're going to add. So we shall add everything that is here from the first one here. So we shall add from the first up to that point. So we add 11,118 and 10 cents plus 1580 and 10 cents plus 2106 and 80 cents plus 2633 and 50 cents. So when you add everything there, the whole of these, you will get that one will give 7438. This will give 7438. 7438 and 50 cents. So that is the tax that we already have from the 4 bands. Everything else now goes to the last band. So look at what is remaining. We need to get this tax, 55,803 and 80 cents. But whatever we have here so far for the 4 bands, because we are remaining with the last band, which is excess over this year, excess of 42. This is the taxable income 42,783. That is what is remaining now. So we need to know what will go to the next band. So when you add everything, you have these. So now you need to get what is remaining. What is remaining? So remaining tax. So you have the total gross tax that you need is 55,803 and 80 cents. And so far, you have only managed to get this tax. This is 74, 38 and 50 cents. So let us see what is remaining. So when you subtract these, these are you're going to get. You're going to get 48. You're going to get 48,365 and 30 cents. So this is now whatever is remaining now to go to this is the tax that will go to the last band. So in the last band, we already have the tax that will go there, which is 48,365 and 30 cents. That is the tax that should go to the last band. So now that when you add everything now, this tax, the first band, the second band, the third band, the fourth band, and the last band, it should give you a gross tax of 55,803 and 80 cents. That is why we've done this. So next thing we're going to do, we already know the rate of taxation in that band, in the last band. The rate of taxation in the last band is given here. It is 30%. So you already have that. So what we don't have is the taxable income, the income that was taxed in order to give this tax. So we have 30%. So what is missing is this taxable income. The taxable income in this band is what we are looking for. What was the amount of money that was taxed at the rate of 30%? The rate of 30% to give this tax. Remember, I said this column is of taxable income, this is the rate, and this is the tax. So you simply need to do that by simply multiplying. You say 30%, so 30% multiplied by x, that is 30% of 100x, where x is the taxable income, will give a tax of 48,365 and 30 cents. So what is x? X will be given by 48,365 and 30 cents multiplied by, you want to make x the subject, to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 30 over 100, which is 100 divided by 30. So this will give you the taxable income in the last band. So multiply this 48,365 and 30 cents multiplied by 100 divided by 30. So this will give 161, 217 and 67 cents. So this is what you get. So you get, this is the taxable income in this band. So you can write it here, 161, 217 and 67 cents. So that is the amount of money that was subjected to this taxation rate to give this tax. Now, after getting that now, we can now proceed and now get the taxable income. Now, taxable income, so taxable income will be given by, so let us add. So we're going to add everything. Taxable income 11,181 So 11,181. So let us add that 11,181 plus, then we have 10,534, 10,534, 10,534. That is 10,534 times 3, and then plus the taxable income here that you just obtained, which is 161, 217 and 67 cents. So that will give us the taxable income. So add everything, 11,181 plus 10,533 times 3 plus 161, 217, 67 cents. That will give 204,067 cents. So that is the taxable income, and you get it by simply adding everything here. This is a taxable income. After doing that, now we can get the basic salary, and I want you to note this. Now to get the basic salary, so basic salary, note this one clearly. So basic salary is obtained by taking the taxable income, subtract all the allowances. That is how you get the basic salary. You take the taxable income minus all the allowances. Why do we do that? Because for us to obtain taxable income, we do take the basic salary plus all the taxable allowances. So now getting the basic salary, we simply take the taxable income, subtract all the allowances. So we already have the taxable income, which is 204,067. Then we can less the allowances. The allowances are 2. Now we have 2 allowances. There is the first statement here. There is this allowance, 40,000, house allowance is 16,000. So those are the allowances, 40,000 and 16,000. So 40,000. So that is 40,000 plus 16,000. So now these will give the basic salary. So simply work out that and subtract. So 204,67 subtract. So this will give 148,067 cents. So that is the basic salary. We can proceed now to the second part of the question. The following month that year, Kimani's basic salary was raised by 10%. His other deductions per month were as follows. So we have the cooperative society contribution, 4,500, loan repayment, 36,000. Calculate Kimani's net salary. So how do you get net salary? Begin from there. Net salary is given by taking the taxable income, then subtract all the deductions. That will give us the net salary. So after this increase of 10%, there's something that will be affected. Of course, after the basic salary was raised by 10%, the taxable income will also be raised to be affected. And also the net tax will be affected. So those are the two things that will be affected. After raising the basic salary by 10%, number one, taxable income will be affected, and then the net tax will be affected. So we need to get this 10% represents what? So 10% increase represents what? So we have 10%. So we want to see that increase, 10% multiply by the basic salary. We just got it in the first part, which is 148,067. So this will give an increase of 14,807 cents. So this is the increase, 10% increase in the basic salary. 10% times the basic salary, this gives that. So this one is going to the last band because it is an increase. Of course, it is going to the last band and it will be subjected to the tax rate in the last band. So we need to get the new tax, the new tax increase. So to get the tax increase, we're going to the last band. The taxation rate is 30%, and this amount 14,000, this increase 14,800 will go to the last band. So we subject that to a tax rate of 30%. We see by how much will this tax increase. So times 14,807 cents. So this one will give us the tax increase. So 30 times 148.07. This one will give us 44. So there will be an increase in the tax by 4,440.02 cents. That will be the new tax increase. Now, what now will be the new net tax? New net tax. The original net tax was given in the first statement here. In the first statement it is here. The net tax was 53,543. So we have to increase that. So 53. So we have 53,543. It was 53,543 and 80 cents. Yeah, and 80 cents. Then after the increase, this is the tax increase, 44,002. So now this will give us the figure, the new figure that will increase. So 53. I think I missed. Is it the net tax, the new net tax? Let me confirm these. It was 53,403. 53,403. Confirm that. 53,403, not 503. 53,403. That was the original. Just confirm again here. That was the original. It was here. This here. Net tax 53,403 and 80 cents. Just confirming that. So that was the initial net tax. Then after the increase, we simply add the increase here, and this will give a net tax of when you add that, we add that using a calculator, we give 57,843 and 82 cents. So this is the new net tax. Now we have the new net tax. What we don't have is the new taxable income. I told you that after the increase, there also be new taxable income. Taxable income will be affected. So after this increase, so we need to get the new taxable income. So new taxable income, and we do that by getting the original taxable income. The original taxable income was here. It was here. This is the original one, 204,067. 204,067. So 204,067 cents, and then plus remember the increase in the basic salary. It is here. The increase in the basic salary, it is here. This is the increase because it was 10% of the basic salary. So this is the increase. So we add that increase. So that is 14,807 cents. Because why are we doing this? Because for us to get the taxable income, we said we take the basic salary plus all the allowances. And since the basic salary was raised by 14,800, so it will affect the taxable income. That is why we're adding these. So after adding these, you will get the new taxable income to be 204,000. These will give 218,874 cents. So that is the new taxable income. So now we have all the tools that we need to get the net tax. So remember, we said the net, not the net tax, but the net salary. Net salary is given by taxable income. Subtract all the deductions. So now we have the new taxable income. So new taxable income. So net pay, or net pay, will be given by, so the new taxable income, which is 218,874 cents, then minus all the deductions. The first deduction that you should never forget is the net tax, the new net tax. The new net tax is here. That is the first deduction. That is a 57,843 and 82 cents. That is the first one that you should not forget. And then the other deduction. So the first deduction is here. This is the net tax, the new net tax. So the other one, let's go to the other part. The deductions were 4,500. I can see there's a cooperative society here. There's a 4,500. Then there's 36,000. Those are the only deductions I can see here. So those are the only deductions. So 4,500. So 4,500 plus 36,000. Those are the other deductions. So those are the deductions. So we work out these, and now these will give you the net pay. Is a calculator for this. So 218,874. Then subtract net tax, which is 57,843 plus 4,500 plus 36. So the whole of these deductions here will total to 98,343 and 82 cents when you add all these deductions. So now when you subtract 218 and then subtract these, you'll get 120,456 and 92 cents. So that is what you get, and that is how you solve that question. Thank you.